would love to see is a world where it sort of disentangles your parents and your bloodline from your opportunities or not in life. And I think it could create a world where people are less tied to my kids, because your kid could be like anywhere in a weird way. You might even bump into someone and be like, yo man, you look exactly like me.
Okay, that's the weird part, but otherwise I agree with you.
So that's like one part of it. And then the other part, the reason I say like applications for being pregnant is because we'd be leading in science and stuff. I think a lot of people struggle pregnant and they fight. And then there's a lot of people who don't struggle at all. They just meet each other on one random night and now they have a kid. They didn't want to have the kid. Now the kid lives a life that it doesn't need to. So I'm trying to create a system where the ones who want get, the ones who don't want don't have. And then we just like mix it up and we spin things around and it's random. Do you know what I mean?
There was a tribe like that somewhere in Africa, so I'm not going to say where, but it kind of took away the pressure around when a couple cannot conceive, right? It's like, oh, you know, I'm barren, or, you know, you're infertile, all of that. Whereas it would be hot within this big village, like you were saying, and just every night, a man would go and then on the door, no, this is kind of occupied type of thing, right? And we have intercourse with each other because we're a tribe, and if people are pregnant, like you say, you give birth and the baby belongs to the tribe. The baby doesn't belong to the parents.
Yes.
I'm not sure, maybe there's a new culture. If you are having issues to conceiving as a child, your brother must step in.
Wait, really?
Not must.
Not must.
So,
no. I mean,
it's like something called Ungena, right? So Ungena,
which means to get in.
Yeah. But essentially what it means is, let's say, for example, Anela was married to my brother, right? And my brother either passed away or wasn't able to have kids for whatever reason, right? Then Anela can just come into my household.
Wow.
Because the child would still be a normal
family,
right? So there we go. So that's what I'm saying. I don't.
Obviously, not every family practices this.
No, but yeah, I think it's a great idea.
This is why I say I don't hate your idea, because it's exactly that. We've just got into a place where people are very individualistic. Like everything's about me.
Yes.
I mean, I'm an individual. It's my wife, my children, my cars, my house, and all of that.
Yes.
But back then with this tribe, I'll have to research it because I did read up about it. Is that what they use, that this child is of the tribe. So this child just belongs here.
And what I also want is, in my dream world, I'm sure there would be a few problems that might be introduced. I don't know what they'd be. Caesar will tell me. But
your dream world would be like Japan. But carry on.
No. What I'd love to do is, it would be, because culture would still be a thing, obviously. But tying race to outcomes, I think, would be greatly diminished. So there would be a Xhosa Chinese kid now. Because it's like, yeah, you just Xhosa. And the thing I like about culture in that way versus like race is that you can opt into culture in a way that you can't with race. You can marry into a Xhosa family.
Yes.
You can marry into a Zulu family.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? You can adopt a culture in a way that you can't with race, because race is exclusionary. It's like, this is your race, buddy.
This is how you
Evermore. Not only this is, we are saying that this is you forever. You know, you are Indian, you are Chinese, you are black, you are this, you are this, you are this. But with culture, you'd be able to be like, oh no, I am whatever.
I like what your idea aims to achieve. But I worry that human nature would just mean that more people opt out of being parents.
Oh, interesting. Say more.
So, for the same reason that you mentioned, there's actually no other reason to be a parent except selfish reasons.
Okay.
There's no other reason. So people speak of legacy, people speak about, I want to carry on my bloodline,
yeah.
About, I want to see myself in the state, and they'll have none of that in your world. And so what I think they'll eventually do is they'll just be like, hey, you guys can raise other people's kids if you want. I'd rather keep my money for myself and my wife, and I'm out.
Yeah, but they're going to die out at some point, and then the money goes somewhere.
People die anyway.
No, but think about it. I hear you.
Yeah.
But my response to them would be, yes, then you're going to die out, and who are you going to leave the money to?
Yeah, people don't care.
It happens now anyway.
But that's fine, because that means that then they would die out as people, and their money would end up coming to the children of everyone.
But the issue is not the money. The issue is about people not having kids.
Don't you think it would average out though? Because in any society, there are people who want, there are people who don't want. But The law of averages dictates that.
I don't believe we look average.
You don't think so? You don't think...
Looking at human nature, and just look at, I use Japan for a reason,
yes,
right?
Go.
Because in Japan, the birth rate has been decreasing steadily over the last 20 years.
Okay.
Right? And that's not even because of anything, but just because the Japanese government told them not to have as much sex. Don't procreate as much. And then people went so far there that it's at a point where the Japanese government is like, hold on, maybe start having more, but now the people patterns have changed.
Yeah, completely.
So, but this is I'm not saying, I don't know, I can't say for certain, but I do believe human nature would cause people not to want to raise other people's children.
Now, my counter argument to you is, yes, Japan's population is declining, Africa's is increasing. So if we average it out over the whole world, Japan's going down, Africa's going up.
Yeah, but Africans are raising their own kids.
No, yeah, but everyone would be raising their own kids in my world. It's just,
no,
they come from inside you, they're your kids. Wow.
As the only person here who has a child, right?
That you know of. Me and Caesar, you don't know.
No.
He's got a secret family, you don't know.
No.
Me and Daniel are sitting on one side for a reason.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is something about raising a child and then they do something or they say something and then for that split moment you're just like, oh my word, that is so me, or that is so your dad, right? And I don't think you'd be able to have that. And that little 1% of that happens makes the other 99% of parenting worth it. Because parenting isn't fun.
I'm glad you said that.
No, parenting is just not fun. It's a lot of stress, it's a lot of anxiety, and everybody who's a parent is acting like they're okay, but we're not okay.
Thank you, thank you for this. It's a truthful moment, everyone.
Is it beautiful? Yes, that one, it's almost like training for the Congress, or training for marathons, or training for whatever it is that you're going to train for years and years, and then that moment of glory when you get that Olympic medal, that's 30 seconds on the podium, your flag's up, well done, off you go, and you go and train for
the rest of the time is torture.
Yeah, for the rest of the time, it's absolute torture. It's absolute torture. And under your world, you're taking away the 1% that makes the rest of it worth it.
Okay, I hear you, but you wouldn't know the 1% in my world, because nobody... Yeah, you're right. You don't know. Because remember, it's a lottery.
You don't ask it this way. What's the incentive to have a child?
People want children all the time.
For what? They just eat your money, they in your space.
No, for real. Because we started off by saying
yes,
there's only selfish reasons to have kids.
Yes, but what I'm saying
now you've taken away the selfish reason. So people only have kids for selfless reasons. Yeah.
There are people all over the world right now.
Yeah.
Banging down the doors of clinics, trying to get children.
Yes.
Right? This is, throughout time, people have tried to get children.
Yes.
People want children.
Yes.
So the reason I think people would still want children is because, to your point, children are terrible, but they're meaningful. You know what I mean? So, we've had the experience with you. You have given us, like, before you had your son, I can unequivocally say I had zero interest in raising a young human being. These things were terrible, and there was no need for them to be in my life. Then you made one, I was introduced to him, we've spent time with him, then I was like, wow, what a beautiful journey, watching him evolve.
Because your entire life is like it's the 1%.
Yeah, but no, I get that. But my point is still, because I've seen that, I'm now more amenable to it. You get what I'm saying? So I'm saying people will still want to have kids because having children and raising children brings so much meaning and purpose to life that people would still want to do it.
Okay, so look at it as it is now.
And I think maybe you can tell me if I'm wrong, because I've never been pregnant, nor do I have a plan to be. The experience of it for many women, I've been told, is some have a terrible one, but others will say it's the most empowering and beautiful, and the feeling and the life inside of you. So I don't know. I think some women would be like, I do like being pregnant.
I love being pregnant.
There you go.
So in my world, my pregnancy was easy. That's another thing. And I liked it, you see what you want, and no one judges you, and you know, and you can skip the line.
But this statement is incomplete.
What?
Would she like being pregnant if you're going to snatch the baby away from your
afterwards?
No. For her never to see it again?
No, I'm not doing it that way. And I'm not taking anyone's babies away. I'll never judge people.
What do you mean not taking it? She's not gonna get to raise the baby.
No, you are.
I'm accepting.
The baby. What he's saying is that when it's time to get pregnant, you go to
Yes,
like
you come to us,
system,
and then we
impregnate.
we impregnate.
It's not necessarily your husband or your
yes.
partner.
Is that what you mean?
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
No, but not anonymous sperm bank.
It is.
No.
Ah.
Hey,
So I would know who
hey,
that is.
don't undermine my. This is terrible branding. Hey, it's not a sperm bank because the embryos are also coming from someone
Then
else.
the guys are gonna opt
So
out.
I'm just opting in as an husband. I have no.
So she's raising her kid. I'm raising a random.
No,
Wait.
No, even the embryo. So all I'm being used is the husband, but I had no say in what went into the recipe.
No, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna. You know, whoever shouted that shit from the peanut gallery.
Yeah.
We were doing so well here.
Yeah.
No, this is why branding. This is why branding. This is why branding. This is why branding is so important. This is why branding is so important.
Yes.
Okay. In my world, we'll make it like it's really going to be a beautiful experience. So you will come to the Ministry of Insemination. We'll call it the Ministry of Life, actually.
It sounds like a cult now, but okay.
The Ministry of Life. You will come there, and we will be part of celebrating this thing that you wish to achieve, which is creating life. And it'll be like a honeymoon. You know, we'll give you, champagne and caviar, everything that you want. You spend a wonderful night together. On that night, you know what I mean? We're gonna set the scene, create a vibe.
Everyone in the world can caviar.
Yeah.
Forget that.
Caviar is actually. Wait, Caesar. She's listening right now. I'll handle you afterwards. Let me do one at a time, man. So Anisi, you come there, everyone gets champagne, everyone gets caviar. Luther Vandross is playing Babyface. Babyface is playing. Everyone's enjoying themselves. Whatever you want that night to be, we'll make it happen. And remember, the ministry has departments all over the world, so we're close to you, 10 minutes away. So, you come there, you enjoy yourself, and on that night, we inseminate you. Right? It's a very seamless process. It's not going to be like IVF is now. We've worked on the technology, but we inseminate you in that process. Okay? And so,
devil's advocate.
no, and so what happens is, now in that night, you have been inseminated, you are now going to be pregnant. And then you're going to go off, and you and your partner, or husband, or friend, or whoever you chose to do this with, you've done that night
So
together.
this baby is not 50% anyone's.
It's 50% you.
It's you and your partner, the same another child is.
No,
No, it can't be the partner.
What do you mean?
because the
Because
sperm
how
came
do you
from anyway.
Oh yeah, sperm and
So it's
the
50% her.
sperm,
it's
no.
not.
The
Because
sperm
I'm just carrying it,
and
but
the
the
embryo.
embryo is not mine.
come from anywhere. So you might bump into your own genes in the world, you never know.
Yeah, bro.
What I'm saying though is, you will now walk away pregnant, and when your child is born, and they are your child.
Stop saying your child. They're not.
You just told me your brother. You just told me your brother can come and inseminate you. That's your child.
That's family,
Yeah,
bro.
that's nice. We've got the same genes.
But in my world, do you understand that over time, genetically, we will all have the same genes, but
So
diverse.
I have a 1 in 8 billion chance I'm going to run into my child.
It's not 1 in 8 billion, actually. Because of your family.
Two,
No. But also, think of how your bloodline, if you traced your family tree as far back, you'd find that it's not 1 in 8 billion.
Okay.
Yeah, with a little bit of incest, it could be more.
It's way more. So it's
So
not
I have less chance of running.
No, it's way higher.
Higher.
Way higher.
Oh, okay.
Way higher.
But also, you want to spend your life searching for your child? What nonsense is this?
But guys, this
No,
is
man.
your child.
No,
I'm out.
very separated.
I'm losing out of this
So
nonsense.
what's your concern here?
Everything, bro. What is
I'm
going on?
I'm not talking to you for a
literally
second.
taking everything away that makes parenting worth it. Now we just all.
Okay, wait, I'm gonna throw something at you. Okay, I'm gonna throw something at you. And Caesar, stop saying no for a second.
Yeah?
Just be open for a second. Have you heard stories of families who left the hospital with the wrong baby,
Yes.
raised that baby,
Yes.
loved that baby,
Yes.
there was nothing wrong,
Yes.
and then found out when there was like an organ transplant or something that involved deep blood work that they weren't related to their own child?
Yes.
This is the first moment when families went, wait. And then they traced it back and they're like, in the hospital the babies were switched at birth, blah, 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 blah.
So you want all families to be the same?
Wait a minute.
He's taking the deck across, he's shuffling
Yes.
every I'm shuffling.
Yes.
He's dealing us a bad head.
No, what I'm saying is those families will tell you there was not one moment where they went, this is not our child. They had the same experience of raising them, loving them, seeing them grow, feeding them. All of
They
it.
believe that the child is theirs.
Because the sense of protection you feel for a child, for a baby, is because there is a familiarity between you and this baby. This is why, mothers, some of you are lying when you say this, when you're like, oh, they placed the baby on my chest and, I fell in love immediately because, it was just, it's the greatest love I've ever known. What you feel is familiar. It's like I've seen this person before. And then you have a feeling of, this is me. I can see me here. I can see my husband here, or my baby daddy, whoever it is. It's the sense of familiarity that you have.
Yes, imprinted.
Yes. So now, if I know that that's not my child, when you're just like, oh, I'm looking forward to getting to know you better.
And also, see, Adele already alluded to this, right? Part of the joy of the parenthood is the things that you don't teach your child, but that they inherently just know. They just
Okay.
this is amazing.
Can I tell you something here? This is something that people take for granted. A lot of that is confirmation bias. So we take for granted that a lot of the behaviors that children get from parents are learned. They're in the environment with you, and we don't think we're teaching, but we are. Children laugh like their parents, not because they inherited the laugh necessarily, but because the laugh gets passed. You can even be like, oh, you did the exact same thing as my grandfather. Yes, but things are passed down, and kids are constantly, without knowing it, decoding what they take and how they take it.
I mean, they really learn behavior.
Yeah.
But it's genetic stuff.
Yes, I understand, but I'm saying we take for granted how much of what we recognize isn't genetic. We are seeing what we want to see. Just like, okay, I'll even throw this at you. I've been in the street with friends of mine who I act like, and then people go, hey, you guys are related. And I'm like, no. They're like, no, you guys are related. And they're like,
That's not the same thing.
No,
I'm talking
no.
about things you can't teach.
yes, but I'm saying,
Haven't you ever looked at your dad's foot and you're like, dude, I've got exact same foot?
but I'm saying
You
you
didn't
will find,
teach your foot to
yes,
grow that
I'm
way.
saying you will find that, because there's everything else of me that's not like my dad. So you find the thing that is the same.
No, but
If I find out
the
tomorrow,
one that I was telling you about.
yes, but if I found out tomorrow that Caesar and I were actually brothers, I'd be like, oh, that explains why we both like blah, blah, blah. Now I would find all the things.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like when people fall in love, all of a sudden
They look alike.
everything star signs. People get star signs and now all of a sudden they're like, that explains it. I wondered why I got fired. Mercury wasn't retrograde. All right, guys, they just gave you an answer. So I'm saying a lot of what people do is giving themselves an answer as to why the child is or isn't like that.
Which is fine.
Which is
But
fine.
in your world, we wouldn't even have the luxury of lying to ourselves like that. I'm out.
The 1%, you're negating the 1%. It's the 1% magic that children bring. That it's like, oh my word.
And the final nail in the
Yeah,
coffin.
no,
Guys, do you know how many dads in the world are
raising
raising a
kids
son
that's
or
not
a
theirs.
daughter that is not theirs?
Yeah.
And they have this experience fully, but they have
No,
Because they don't believe that these are not their kids. Hey,
you
man.
have named your root to.
I'm telling you,
I'm open to amendments.
Yes,
Go.
if you have named your root to what
Yes.
I was saying about, similar to the African villages where the father is here, the mother is here, we are all just raising. So once again, we are a city of say 8 million people, and all of us are mixing about, that's fine.
Make money in your world. Make money in your world. Come on, son.
Do you see what I'm saying? If you
I
just-
hear you,
yeah,
but
just narrow it. If they can't
My issue is still that now it will become a little too insular for my liking.
You want to hear my business idea? Let me tell you my business idea. I would be the guy smuggling, like real kids, like you'd be like, yo, you, want your real baby? Come visit me for 9 months. You walk out with your real baby. That's my business. Guys, move with real ones. Selling authentic babies.
I mean, needless to say, there would be a crackdown of this black market here that's run by Caesar. But
I would only be black market, white market, Chinese market.
I'm willing to accept your votes.
Would you amend your rule though?
Unfortunately not.
Aye.
That one I can't amend.
I'm voting out of this one.
I'm sorry,
But you were there, like you really had me.
I know, but I can't amend it because it wouldn't fulfill what I'm trying to do. So
you meant well, but like nah. I'm not voting for this world.
So
your world will have cycles, bro. Every joker's moving around every.
Why would my world have cycles?
Come on, there's trauma in your world.
Why would there be trauma?
This is trauma, but also
And
why would there
unlike Caesar's world where the chaos comes every 5 years, yours is just a constant, uninterrupted. Why is the chaos? Why is the chaos?
Okay, let me tell you why. Right now, the world is messed up mostly because of absent fathers. Your whole world is absent fathers, bro.
No. Why is it absent fathers?
No,
my world is chosen.
There is a
in fact, in my world, it's even better.
Yeah.
Because nobody is being a dad by mistake. Think about it.
So you're not allowed to impregnate anyone.
You can't, not allowed. You can't in my world.
Impossible.
So
the only time
I didn't want to reveal the secret because patented technology is not sterilization. So we have a patented technology that we use when children are born.
There's already a technology.
We have a technology when children are born. We have a way to turn off your reproduction, so that like when you're living, the same way like people get
vasectomies and then they reverse.
Yeah. But we do that like from the time you're born, it's done. So you don't even have to worry about it. And then when you're ready to have kids, we come and we do a thing and we like make it happen.
And then you shoot into something, and then that can then get distributed across the world.
Exactly. So my counter to you is actually, in my world, there would be fewer absentee fathers, so there would be less chaos, because now the men who are choosing to be fathers are choosing, the women who are choosing to be mothers would be choosing, and I would rather be in a world where people who want kids have more kids because they want them, and the people who don't have fewer kids because they don't want them, and I think that would still average out. Because people, entropy, it always happens.
No, the idea is a normal one.
So I think it would be fewer. I love that you said absentee fathers. In my world, there would be fewer absentee fathers.
There would be no absentee fathers because
but you never know. People get divorced and stuff. You can't force things. I'm not gonna.
Oh, really? You can't force things?
No. Remember, you're forcing one thing at a time. If I rule the world, you do one thing at a time.
I'm ready to vote.
I can't do everything at once. Then it's not a fun game.
I'm ready.
Just one thing.
You
said no long ago, bro.
Yeah.
You said no when I started the sentence.
But like you were trying to convince me.
I think if I didn't have the experience of raising my son and the person that he is and seeing myself so much in him,
yes.
I would have.
I'm gonna throw one thing at you.
Go for it.
Okay. Caesar called for the originals, baby. Selling originals.
You call me a corporation doing crime. This guy's gonna be a corporation doing crime. No. So, what if? This is a genuine question, theoretical. What if tomorrow you found out that somehow Alake wasn't of you? Do you think it would take away all those 1%?
It wouldn't, but she'd still be disappointed.
It wouldn't, but it would question the rest of the 1% for the rest of our lives. And he's only 10. That's a long time to be questioning.
Okay.
Even him.
I would definitely like to.
Okay, I'm with you.
This is a completely emotional decision where I'm just like, you know what?
I'm with you. Yeah. So you.
You mean well though, like I said.
Yours is a no.
And also because I see how much I can love my friends' kids and like my sister's kids.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm not saying that I am void of loving somebody who wasn't birthed by me.
Yes.
I'm not void of that.
I'm selfishly.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate that.
Selfishly, I'm going to say no.
Okay, Caesar, what's your no based on?
Everything. It's just a horrible idea. It means well, but this is never work. Just a no.
No, but you're saying no for you, why?
The only reason to have a kid are selfish reasons. Now, people can go left, right, on and back and try to explain to you that it's for something else. There's no other reason except that. Selfish reason.
Okay.
And what you ask of people is to be selfless with the most, I guess the biggest sacrifice, because children are also a sacrifice and a burden.
Every day.
I use these words and no parents will be like, children are a blessing. They are, but a blessing can also be a burden.
Okay. So double no.
Yeah.
Well, I'm used to it.
I can see why.
At the end of, you know what? Better swing for the fences, guys. That's why. Great ideas. Do you remember when the iPhone first came out? Remember what people said? Who would buy a phone without a keyboard? That's what people said. What a stupid idea. Me, guys, I'm here to invent iPhones. I'm not here to come with small things. But I lost once again.
Oh boy.
Well, congratulations, Anene. Your first time at bat, and you've won. So thank you very much for joining once again.
If I rule the world.
What Now with Trevor Noah is produced by Spotify Studios in partnership with Day Zero Productions. The show is executive produced by Trevor Noah, Sanaz Yamin, and Jody Abigail. Our senior producer is Jess Hackle. Claire Slaughter is our producer. Music, mixing, and mastering by Hannes Brown. Thank you so much for listening. Join me next Thursday for another episode of What Now? Welcome to What Now, another episode of the podcast where this time I'm in South Africa. And if you've listened to enough of the podcast, you know that when I'm in South Africa, that means I'm with my people. And when I'm with my people, we create different episodes. On one of the first ones I did for my 40th birthday was Anile Mdoda, a good friend of mine. She's a broadcaster, she is an executive producer, an all-round media mogul, and most importantly, a super mom. And my other friend, Sizwe Tlomo. He's a TV presenter, a radio host, a business person, and economics. I think he has a degree in he studies about whatever. The point is, he's a friend, and we're going to be chatting together. Disclaimer for everyone who listens, these are South Africans, I'm including myself, so we're going to talk like South Africans. And yeah, whatever happens, happens, because when my friends and I do a podcast, we try and make it as informal as possible. So if you're looking for like the dictionary definition of like a simple podcast, you came to the wrong place. Scroll to the next one in your feed now and enjoy that. But if you're looking for like an honest get-together of three human beings who love, respect, and fight with each other, then you've come to the right place. Welcome to What Now? This is What Now with Trevor Noah.
One, two, three, four. I declare a sample. 1, 2, 3.
No, that sounds great. This sounds great. We hear it.
You didn't put something.
Yeah.
You, your face went between you think I am.
Oh man.
You look at me like, yeah, this is who I am.
Oh, that is so funny.
Jeez, I am.
So welcome guys. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
You're supposed to say Happy New Year.
Yeah, of course.
Until we
Okay, what's your time? What's your cutoff?
I mean, you know,
Valentine's.
depends how well I know you. It also depends how well I know you.
Yeah, okay.
So with you guys, it's like, okay, you're pushing.
But so we are at the cusp.
Yeah.
Alright.
People you close to, you should have said Happy New Year the 1st of January. Otherwise, you're not close.
I've never thought of like a scale, like a gradient for when
Everything
you
is
can
on the
say.
spectrum, bro.
Yeah, you're truly a math guy for everything. Caesar's got like a graph for everything. The x-axis is friendship time, then the y-axis is...
But remember, Caesar didn't have friends, he's got cousins. We are the first friends in Caesar's life. Please, let's remember.
So happy New Year, man. Happy New Year.
Well, Happy New Year to you too, stranger.
What do you mean stranger?
I think we said, if you're a friend, you should have said Happy New Year.
Wow. Oh Wow.
Oh,
Okay.
we came back with that.
Okay. All right. All right. At least you're on form. We're in the mix. I think differently about the conversations we're going to have because I enjoy delving into your minds as friends, but also as problem solvers. And then I find sometimes when we have these conversations, like the last one we did on the podcast, people were just like, oh yeah, that was an interesting conversation, and you guys are friendship. And what I realize is friendship is almost the cooking apparatus that we use to figure things out. Does that make sense?
I get you.
Because everyone can have a conversation. But I find when you have a conversation with your people, there are extra ingredients and extra tools that you have, namely your friendship, that define some of the conversation that you can't get with a stranger.
I think it's good to have a conversation with your friends because we can say, don't say that one in public. That one, yeah.
No, wait, do you think that's still a thing?
Yes.
No, guys. Oh, no, wait. No. But and this is an honest question.
Yeah.
In fact, this is a great question to kick us off because the conversation I wanted to have with you was, what are you worried about going into the new year, moving forward, right? Because a lot of people have like a positive outlook.
Yeah.
But I'll start with that, funny enough.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think cancelling is still a thing? I think it's finished.
I think the attempt to cancel is still there, and the fact that there could be an attempt to cancel you means that you could still be cancelled because you could be diving and catch one stray that does cancel you. So cancelling is still a thing. This is why it is important to ask your friends first. They call them WhatsApp conversations. You know, sometimes you tweet something, you put on X or you go on Instagram and someone's like, yeah, let's start with your friends with that one.
Test that out.
Yeah, I think it's definitely still a thing.
I don't know.
Because then if you lose 10% of your income, it's still 10% of your income that you've lost.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
You're looking at even like micro cancellations.
Yeah.
You're looking at like, erosion cancellations.
Yeah, it's like, you know.
Oh, I was just talking about like, you're cancelled. It feels like it's finished.
Ooh.
Like it feels like we were at a peak.
So here's the thing. If I'm using Anela's departure point, right? Then I don't necessarily want to take it to cancellation and loss of income. I would just look at it as just how humans interact. And the first thing is, some people don't know who they are. That's the first thing.
Okay.
Then, other people know who they are, but they're uncomfortable with who they are.
Okay. Oh, damn.
So now, when you have a conversation, there are certain things that they want to hold back, specifically when they're with strangers, because they don't want the strangers to gain insights to the part that they're uncomfortable with.
Like their racism or xenophobia?
All of it, yeah.
Okay.
And it could be anything. Maybe you're a freak. It's like, too much.
Okay.
Now,
So
when
your
you
friends
see your
should know you're
friends,
free.
now your friends already know. Like,
At least one of your friends.
dude, there's nothing here that I can take that can shock you guys.
Yeah, at least one of your friends. In the event that you die in a dirty place,
Yeah.
one of us will be like, yeah, well.
Yeah. So now,
I knew they went.
Exactly.
I knew he frequented.
so now we have those conversations, then you go, okay. So it's back a little bit. And then again, it's not because you fear being cancelled. It's just, again, there are certain things that are just appropriate and others that are inappropriate. That's all it is.
Things that are appropriate in public and things that are inappropriate.
Yes. You get like inner thoughts and outer thoughts.
Yes,
Okay.
I agree with that.
I like how you said this like you studied it in a textbook.
It feels like no incompetence.
You're so robotic in your
Sociology
thinking.
text.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. But you're so robotic in your thinking that it really sounds like literally the way you said it. There are inner thoughts and there are outer thoughts. Humans only do inner thoughts inside.
B-A-I.
No, you've been AI.
B-A-I.
You really have. All right, so why don't we go around? Well, first, I want the high level of what you're worried about for the year. You know, as we go into the future. And by the way, it's not even just for the year. It's rather what you're most concerned about at the beginning of the year that you think maybe, because you know, like every year has a different feeling.
Yeah.
Right?
So I have two. Do you want me to give you the two now, or is it one round, the round?
No,
and then
give us the two now,
Okay,
and then I want to
so-
get Caesar's, and then I'll give you mine, and then we'll see where we can
The
go.
first one is my son's turning 10 this year, and he's reaching the part of his life where he no longer looks inside the hole for role models and who to mimic himself on. He's going to look externally. And this wasn't something that was, on top of my mind until we went on holiday and he made a friend with a discipline problem. That by the end of the holiday, I had to say to him, give me a phone. Did you add this boy's number? He said, delete him, block him. We are not going to be friends with him. Type of thing. And then it had me thinking that, we are at a point now where I just have to make sure that his self-esteem is so high and his confidence is so unshakable that things like that don't impress him. He has to remember how he was raised at home.
I love this. Don't say more on it. Don't say more on it. Okay, so the problem, we got the problem. This is all the worry.
Yes.
All right, what's your second worry?
Last year, we had a Christmas party, right? And everybody had to stand up and say what they're grateful for.
Yes.
Obviously, people are grateful for, work and, good relationships and, being financially sound.
Yeah.
Somebody stood up and said that he is grateful for health. Out of 60 people, he's the only one who said that. And it got a lot of us thinking that, we're at a place where anything could be something. Like right now, I have an issue with my shoulder. And I'm so scared to go and check it out. Because I'm so scared they're going to say something like, oh, you've got 6 months. I'm like, no. I've got things to do. I can't have 6 months. And I promise you, my health is something that is just starting to appear in my list of things that I worry about. A lot more than it did, because sooner or later, you have to come to terms that you're not immortal. You're not going to be around here for long,
Damn, these are very... Okay, these are existential worries in different ways. See, what are you about?
So, this year per se, not too much. Last year I was worried about maybe the possibility of World War III. I don't think
so now it's ended for you?
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
Wow.
These guys fumbled. They fumbled.
What? They fumbled the World War III?
They fumbled the opportunity to start World War III.
This Ukraine and Russia, somebody say it like
no, all of this. Israel,
they
the US,
the opportunity to start World War III.
They fumbled that.
So,
you're no longer worried about World War III.
I mean, that's a great way to start. Yeah.
But in the short to mid-term, I am worried about the type of world that my kids will grow up in.
You've got kids?
In theory.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
you never know. Your friends can now announce things.
So, and it's more to what Daniela was talking about as well, right? Because you can do everything in your power to protect your children and those that you love in the ambit of your circle, but then they need to exist within a community, right? And when they go out, hey man, I'm seeing that we're just getting too liberal right now, and some of those things are going to come back to bite us.
Okay, I like this. All right, great. So, Anele's worry is your son is now at an age where he's looking externally for role models. The second thing you're worried about is you're at an age where anything internal
is something.
Yeah, okay. He's no longer worried about World War III, Hugh, but worried about the world that his children will live in, because now there'll be a world. So now you've got different problems. Okay, cool. The thing I'm worried about, maybe it touches a little bit on what you're saying, but I worry that the global experiment has failed or is failing.
What's the global experiment?
So, I think for a long time, we were seduced by this idea that the whole world could come together as one. And I think a lot of it was sold through the lens of trade.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We always traded, don't get me wrong, we always traded. But a lot of it was sold through the lens of trade. So like the Euro Union, it's like, and then BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. It's like, these blocks that have all come together. And so Europe at some point was like, we don't have a border, If you are European, you can go everywhere in Europe. Yeah. I think that is starting to fail because, I don't think we thought far ahead enough, or I don't know if we, crossed all the T's and dots, because we also never did it.
Did you always believe in it?
I was just told that I was too young to believe or not believe.
I believe in it.
Oh, you did believe in it?
But I'll tell you,
whether you are buying or selling, find your happy place. We're forward to trade.
I don't think this is anything new. If anything, I think we need more perspective. Because if you go into history and just look at how each civilization has a lifespan, it usually ends like this.
Yeah, but that's what you're just now talking about my worry.
Yes.
And you just said forever to worry.
Yeah,
No.
Because, listen.
It's not about me. You just said to me, let me just tell you what you just did right now. This is what Caesar did. I was on a plane, and I said, I'm a little bit worried that this plane feels like it's gonna go down. And Caesar said, well, if you look statistically, most planes crash around this age. So you're right, but you don't have to worry.
So let me explain. Let me finish.
All right, go.
You're 100% correct. So all civilizations do come to an end, but it has to be that way so that a new civilization can begin.
Yes.
Right? You just have the kind of perspective now at your age, where you're 40, 41, where you've seen things go from where they were to where they are.
Okay.
Right? But it's not to say that the world's going to end tomorrow.
No, I'm not. I don't even think
Right.
that.
But you're 100% correct. Things are deteriorating at a rapid rate.
All right. So which one do we start with? Which worry do we want to handle first? I actually would love to start with your son.
Dilemma.
Okay.
We've been there.
Yes.
So that was
So-
going to give you
Okay.
one word.
So before I say anything on it, take me through a little bit about how you feel like as a mom of a son, 10 years old. Like, I understand you saying you worry that he's now going to get external influences, but why is that a worry and not like necessarily a joy?
Oh, because they already have been external influences, right? Just even YouTube as an example to the relationship that you guys have with Allah. It is bordering on uncle, on father figure, and all of that, right? And so I think it's the older people, because I get to choose them. You must remember that. For a very long time, I get to choose who is around him.
I'm honored that you chose me. I thought I was just like defaulting in, but I'm glad you chose me.
Yeah. And now with that he, also he can't control who he's going to meet, type of thing.
Yeah.
So granted, yes, somebody may spark his interest and in a good way, but along the line, it's going to be in a bad way. And I just want that to know that he's able to decipher and decide for himself that, this one is not the one.
So tell us the story about him meeting this kid. Where did he meet the kid, and how did you know the kid was bad? And why do you think Allah was unable to discern between the good and the bad of the kid?
I prefer a kid who's outright rude. Then I'm like, oh, is that it? I'm like, okay, kid, let's square up. But this one, it was just like slight discipline issues where if we say, hey guys, let's all go, we're going now, he'll stay in the pool. Almost like looking to see, are you going to come in the pool, type of thing.
Sizing you up.
Constantly sizing me up. But and I suppose that's a relationship that he has with his parents, where he's constantly pushing the boundaries and the envelope.
How old was he?
Same ages, they're actually 7 days apart.
Wow.
They discovered this, we're best friends, we're 7 days apart. I'm on this day, on that day. So I'm like, oh, okay.
So wait, you said get out of the pool.
Yeah.
He didn't look at you.
Yeah, like,
and then what did you say?
I said, Booty, get out of the pool, And he kind of like waddled around a little bit as well.
Yeah, because I'm trying to picture, it's pretty gangster for somebody to be waiting
and
challenging you.
Looking you in the eye.
So he doesn't respond?
No, he doesn't respond.
Maintaining eye contact. That's a G right there.
But you see, this is what I'm saying is that come on and say we're fighting, so I know which arsenal to activate, type of thing. So now when you're doing this,
Oh boy, that's funny.
and then, so now I take like a few, because I was also in the pool. So,
Were you in the pool?
no, I was swimming with him and then I got out.
got it.
So it's also a case of, kids, please understand, I'm not too lazy to jump back in here. I will come and fetch you, type of thing, right? And now I'm looking at like, and he's almost like, he's at the step of the pool. His friend is inside the water and his mother is outside. So it was a moment where he was deciding,
Psychological type of war.
yes, would he,
Does he want to be good or does he want to be cool?
exactly, So now, so that's how I was like, okay, so it was a few of those things. Maybe we're in the room, we're like, okay, we're going for dinner now. Everybody's ready, this kid, I'm like, hey, let's go, 10 minutes. Now we start outside, even my partner's like, wait, but now our child's standing with us. Now we're waiting for a stranger's child, because we just met you.
If I may ask, so what heritage is this child? Say,
Same as Allah. Everything, guys, when I say everything was
so
identical,
interesting.
yeah.
So you didn't even have like a little African swag you could pull out, just a
No,
little something
no, not at all.
Wow.
Not at all.
This is actually more dynamic and interesting. I was picturing a white kid and I was like,
No, it's
this
not a
sounds
white
normal.
kid. This is a black kid.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
When you think about it, Aneli's fear, your fear, and my fear are the same fear.
Run me through that?
So, to kind of like break it down in a nutshell, you just got to ask yourself, are you comfortable with the world raising your child? If you were to send your child out into the wild, in the wilderness, which is are you comfortable with the sort of person that come back as?
You see,
Which speaks to your question and kind of speaks to my fear as well.
That's why I was saying that, you know, the job now is to make him so confident and have high self-esteem and understand who he is that he doesn't have to be taken by those things. But the truth of the matter is, at that age, because remember we're preteen now, we're going to at that age, you are questioning a lot of things. Yes, you know what you were taught, but there are other lessons coming from the outside, and they're not always going to be good.
So I'll probably butcher some of it. I'm bad with remembering numbers, but there was a child psychologist who once told me, for boys and girls it's slightly different, but I believe from like 0 to 2 or 3, it's all math. It's just all math, all right? And then I think from like 3 to like 7, 10, and it changes for boys and girls. It's mom and dad in terms of like just like parental household vibe. But then to your point, they say for boys specifically, once they hit like 10, 11, 12, somewhere there, it's all about uncle, as they call it. It's all about other men or male figures outside the household.
Be a coach.
Be a
head boy.
Who just like, they're the ones who now...
Captain of the football team. Exactly. The numbers are actually 0 to 7 is mom, 7 to 14 is dad or uncle, and then 14 to 21 is external. But because...
But who's external? You gave us such specific ones for the first 2.
No, but you must remember that because kids are growing up at a rapid pace as well. For me, and this is not this is not scientific or whatever. I just think that at 10 now, we are already
that's possible.
Because also, he is going out a lot more than a normal child would have gone out as a 10-year-old 20, 30 years ago.
Is there a part of you that wonders if your mom Tai Chi has been enough?
Yeah, there is. The fact that he questions it. Because you must remember, some people just will go along with it immediately. Hey, just let it go. I can see the thought process in Alaka's mind when he goes, and then like, you know, I can see it. I can see it. But also, you know, I've been very careful in, because I don't want my child to be scared of me at all. I don't want that. I want...
Number.
Oh wow. Yes, carry on.
I'm so glad that entertained boy.
You're such a mom, you know. You're just such a funny line.
I don't want my child to be scared of me, but I do want him to know that this is the line and this is the line, right? And to respect, and you know, to respect me and just to respect other people. And also to respect somebody's decision that they're not going to quit. Like, you know what, I respect that you want to do this, but I am not going to do that. And that's frankly really all I want.
So now, did you explain to Alake, we'll call this anonymous kid X, why X's behavior is not acceptable in this household?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Did he pick it up though?
Yes, he did.
Oh, so he saw this happen?
Yes, and as we were walking back to our room, he was walking so far ahead because he knew that we want to have, you know, the chat with him. But then I did the most gangster thing, right? I didn't say anything. Because I could see he was like, it was stewing him. I didn't say anything. And I just asked and I said, your guys' behavior at the restaurant was really not what we like about you and what we've taught you. He's like, no, I understand. And then he quickly named exactly what he'd done.
This is child X?
No, this is Alak.
Oh, this is Alak.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he quickly like, but then because we're asking him, because there was a point where they weren't within us seeing what they were doing. But then they came back and they just like dished out the weight, like they were playing with water or some type of thing. Yeah, but he explains what happened. I'm not buying the story, but he explains what happened to my partner. My partner's buying it. I don't know if he was buying it, whatever. Guy to guy as well. They had like a little manual money. And I was like, actually, you handle it. Leave me out of it. Fine, go to bed. 3 in the morning. I wake up. Because I want him to tell me the story again as it's just waking up. Going to his room. Going to his room. And I
on a holiday, bro.
Put the lights on, everything. The lights on, no, but he doesn't wake up so the lights are on. But I just want that when I do wake him up,
the lights are on.
Yeah, the lights are on so I can see his immediate reaction. I ask him, just give me that story again, run it by me again, because I didn't quite catch it.
I just want to rewind to the point when you said, I don't want my son to be scared of me.
Bro, we had a resort.
We had a resort.
Drill sergeant is turning on the lights.
to interrogate you, bro. To interrogate you.
Switch on the lights, and then I get into bed with him, and then I nudge him. I'm like, hey, Baba, wake up. You know, something's like, oh, it's time for us to go already. I'm like, no, just quickly. I didn't quite hear that story.
Wow.
Just
Wow.
run it by me again. What about? And then he said it, and I was comfortable with the answer. And then I was like, but you do understand that this is not behavior that we are accustomed. He's like, no, I get it, and I know that it was wrong, and that's why I was apologizing. And I'm like, okay, cool. I just wanted to know that the story was the story, and there wasn't anything else that I need to address. And I said to him, because you know that some kids don't come from the same backgrounds and from the same.
Yes. In other houses, they leave the lights off and they let you sleep until the morning. That's how other houses do it.
But in this house,
wow.
You know, so yeah. But also, when I did that, because then I got back and then to my partner, I was like, okay, fine. I'm like, yeah, it's fine. And then when I woke up in the morning and I told you, he was like, no ways. And I'm like, yeah. And I said to him, you know what? I've never been a mother to a 10-year-old before. So I'm also winging it. Yeah, I'm also winging it. Much like he's never been a 10-year-old before, with all these emotions and everything that's going on with it. So we're just going to have to figure each other out.
And I have to negotiate with a 10-year-old terrorist, essentially, and just hope that their logic coincides with yours. You know, I don't know if I ever told you the story. So Isaac, my youngest brother, right? Him and the middle brother were staying with me in LA. And they come to visit me, and it was this whole thing, and we're there for Christmas. And they now gotten to an age where they're big enough that I have to negotiate with them. But they're still young enough that they do crazy shit, right? So one day we're having dinner together, we order food, and then we plated. I was like, because I want them to feel civilized, you know what I mean? Because I was like, I'm also the person who eats out the box. But let's do a family thing. Let's take the food out of the box and put it on a plate like we cooked it. Cool. So we all eat, we put things together. Everything's great, we're done. And when we're done, it's time to clean up. And I say, guys, help me, let's take everything to the kitchen. And I take one bowl, one glass. My brothers stack everything. They stack everything. I'm like, what are you guys doing? And we're taking it to the kitchen. I was like, guys, take one thing at a time.
I can come back.
My other brother's he's like, yeah, but I can do this, I got this. I was like, hey, whoa. It's not about whether you've got this. Take one thing at a time. You're stacking, everything, you know what I mean? He's like, yeah, but I'll be fine. I was like, no. You think you'll be fine until you're not fine. Please just take one thing at a time. He's like, oh, okay. So I go to the kitchen with the one thing. And now, we're doing that thing where we're crossing. So one person goes to the table, another person goes, one person to the table. As I'm at the table with the youngest, Isaac, we're chatting. I hear a smash on the other side of the house. Glass shattering. And you know what, it's not even like I'm like, oh, is there a break-in? I know exactly what glass that was. So go to the kitchen, I'm like, yo, bro, what happened? Oh, yeah, the glass dropped. I'm like, the glass didn't just drop. The glass dropped because you took more things than I told you to. And he's like, oh, yeah, my bad. Then I'm like, no, not your bad. Not your bad. I told you the thing. So now we're having this, and he's not even fighting. He's being, very polite and everything. And so now the youngest is, running with the stuff. So he's doing one and one, but he's sprinting back and forth. So I'm like, okay, no running. So many rules, Stuart. This is what he says. He's like, geez, bro. He's like, so many rules. I'm like, yes, these are the rules for how you make sure that the stuff in your kitchen stays around, right?
And also you don't hurt yourself.
You see? So he's running. Guys, at some point I go, I said, walk slowly, take the things one by one. Don't. He's like, yeah, but I run all the time, I'll be good. I was like, yo, just take the things one. He's like, but why do I have to do it, yo? And I'll never forget this. In that moment, he's like, why do I have? And I was like, because I said so! And when every parent flashed the I was like, I have become dead, became Raven.
But he said that.
No, he didn't. But I've always said my youngest brother is probably the smartest person we've ever had in our family. And the most emotionally intelligent. He sat with it, he did what I said. And he came back, maybe 10 minutes later. Now there's a weird feeling in the house. But he came back to me and he said, hey, Trev. He said, I just wanted to apologize for what happened. I didn't mean to offend you. I was like, yeah, I get it, I'm sorry too, And he says, but here's the thing, it's the reason I keep asking you why when you tell me to do things, it's not because I want to undermine who you are as a person. He's like, it's because I don't understand why you're doing things the way you do them. So if I just do them the way you do them, I never really believe in it. I'm just doing it because I've learned it as a rote identity. He's like, but if I actually learn why you do it the way you do, then maybe I can adopt it as my own. And then if I'm challenged by somebody or something one day, I'll know why I do it. So the reason I ask you why is not because I'm challenging you as my big brother. It's just because you want to understand why you actually do it. Because I don't want to be a robot. I want to be a human being who believes in my actions. So, you know what it made me realize is like, I realized that every parent and every adult figure in a child's life will have that frustration. You're bound to be frustrated because you are proposing every idea through the lens of logic and experience. But your kids, rightfully I think in many ways, are also here to test what those boundaries are. If every child, even us, think of us, the three of us sitting here and everyone who's listening, if you did everything the way your parents did it, half the time you wouldn't be where you are. You wouldn't have discovered a new way to work, a new type of job, a new career, a new country, a new language, a new sport, a new religion, a new style of dressing.
A new relationship.
Yeah, like you literally have to break what they've taught you to make something new. And the difficulty, as you say, is we're all winging it. We don't know what will or won't work. It's just in these moments where you go, look, when we say get out of the pool, get out of the pool. But it's a tough one, because it's like you have because I've never had a friend who's a mom. You get what I'm saying? Like a friend.
Best friend.
No.
I'm also like, there's a way to break up with a friend?
No, what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, I've never been in the position where I can say this to you and ask you honestly, like, do you have it's not like you can have a fixed number, but do you have a number of how much you're willing to tolerate his boundary pushing because you think it might be what creates something bigger and more beautiful than you've ever considered?
Definitely, but the thing that we parents are doing now is we're very willing to question the school that he's at because there's too much writing and the kids aren't writing anymore. Let's take him to a school that just does robotics and everything is computerized. It's or sporting, right? Oh, my child is still good at this. Maybe I should take him out of the school because he's going to play for the Springboks, so he's going to play for the Proteas and all of that. But I think when it comes to, just discipline and emotion and all of that, as parents, we're very much holding on to, what you believe at that moment in time. It's very difficult, and I tried very hard with my son where I'm like, okay, level with me, let's talk to me, explain to me what was you thinking when you were doing that, right? So that I can understand, because like you said, I'm 40 and he's 10 and we really, we different times, right? Different times, different ways of parenting as well. And I didn't have that with my mom or my dad. It was what they said,
That's the rule.
That was the rules also because it's like I'm paying for the house, I'm paying for this, so as long as you live under this household, under this roof, you are going to, type of thing, and I don't want that with the house. Simple things as well, like people ask me, why do you knock when you go into your son's room? It's your house. I'm like, yes, but it's his room.
Did you knock at 3 a.m.? You didn't. That was a surprise.
And also that's a hotel.
That's a oh, nice. Nice. I see. You know when law enforcement finds all these loopholes? Oh, we didn't need a search warrant because it wasn't your home.
There's a visitor shameful sanctioned by the Minister of Tourism, right? In Houston City.
So like, why do you knock? And I'm like, because I want him to knock when he's coming into my room. Right?
Yeah. You want to model the behaviors.
Yes. And here's the thing, is that I want to show you that I respect your privacy, because everybody else in the world must also respect your privacy.
Oh, damn.
How can I say I'm allowed not to respect your privacy, but everybody else must respect your privacy?
Okay.
So I basically treat him the way I want the world to treat him, so that he can know, that no, back at home, this is how I'm treated, and you're not treating me the way that I'm treated at home, where I'm loved. So this is not going to fly. And actually, that's all you want your kids to be about.
We're going to continue this conversation after this short break. Did you ever have a bad influence? Because I know you weren't the bad influence.
Yeah, so bad influences are everywhere.
No, but I'm saying as a kid, like, did you have a friend where they were like your bad influence? I was
a bad influence.
In many ways, yes, I will say. But I also think I had many friends. I think we were renegades together, to be honest.
I think my formative years,
No, you didn't.
Wow.
Because majority of the people that were around me were handpicked by my parents.
Oh,
so even
come
my
back to the
friends,
cousins.
exactly, even my friends, it was really because my parents were friends with these people, and then they'd be like, we'd go to so-and-so's house, hey, okay, Luis was my friend. I didn't, like, it's not like I sought out Luis to be my friend, it didn't work like that. But here's my thinking and the approach, and obviously I think you do it as well. I think all you can do, look at it like coding. You just introduce the fundamentals, right, to your child. And then tell them about computer coding. Yes. Okay. Fun. Even with human beings. Yeah. It's essentially the system anyway.
Because we're robots.
Because we're AI. Aren't we all?
Exactly.
Aren't we? Up?
Yeah, so you introduce the fundamentals.
I agree with you.
This program is obsolete. Right, so once you've got the fundamentals in place and they understand them, and obviously have an agreement to the fundamentals of, then you can go to like intermediate programming and tell them, okay, well, now with these fundamentals that you fully understand,
yeah,
what do you think the right thing to do in this situation is? And then he will tell you, and then you go, well, actually, that is the wrong thing to do, Alaka, because if you do that, for example, Isaac, I know you used to running, but there's a possibility you may slip and you can hit a glass and you will get impaled by this glass. That's why it's rather safer for you to just walk, right? By running, yeah, you save a little bit of time, but with no rush. This is like, okay, cool.
You're very logical.
But that's how life is. What else? No.
You sound like you've never been a child.
No, but listen to me.
Guys, I knew, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
When I was opening the TV in the living room.
Yes.
As you're opening it like,
Yeah, when I was
on the
unscrewing
side.
the whole thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Logically, I knew everything.
I unscrewed the TV too, but I had logic for it.
Okay.
I wanted to see how the TV worked.
Oh, same with me.
And as a result, I was able to fix things at home. I was like dude, maybe by like 8, I was a handyman at home. And my dad understood I couldn't have been a handyman unless I broke my toy. But I'll tell you what, when things were wrong and I fixed it without him paying a cent, boy, was he glad I broke that toy.
Okay.
You see?
So that's immediate.
Yeah.
You see what?
Now here's the thing.
Now that's funny. It comes back around to like, is there a reward on the other side?
There's always a reward. I'm told I was a highly inquisitive child. I guess I still have even as a
Yeah,
right? And the thing with questions is, you just gather data points. That's all you do. You gather data points, and you're gonna later use those data points as you collect it and go, oh, okay. Well, when I asked that, the analyst told me this and that. So maybe I should go this way. There's a lot of things I never got to experience and still have no inkling. I don't even want to experience them. But I've learned major lessons from other people and their experience. So when you now withhold those answers and you just you nip it in the bud by saying yes because I said so, you are starving Isaac of the data points he needs in order for him to be able to come up with a decision, which will then obviously make sense to him.
Yeah, the wrong or the right. All right. Well, if you need, outside models, real models, you let us know.
No, I'm covered.
You must let us know.
I mean,
but Mina, I'm probably gonna say even at this age, I will bring a little bit of bad influence, but always respectful. One thing my teachers always said, Trevor's very respectful.
But he's very troublesome.
He's very disruptive in class, but very respectful, and oftentimes does not apply himself, but very respectful. There was no disrespect in what I was doing. Do you know what I mean?
No,
yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I was the one who put the firecracker in the toilet, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That is correct, ma'am.
Why, Trevor? Why?
Because we wanted to see what happens.
The thing about being a child being inquisitive as well is that it could be on the bad side of things.
Yes, because that's what I see.
Because people always treat like being inquisitive like, oh, such a wonderful thing, it's a great trait. He's so inquisitive. But if he's inquisitive as what's going to happen if at age 9 he takes the car, right? That's not a good thing.
I did that.
Yeah.
I thought about that.
About what?
Taking the car.
Why did you do it?
So, our driveway was like a bit of an incline.
Yeah.
So when I was leaving, I would have been fine. But then when I was driving back, the car obviously would have had like hummed a little bit. And then I thought, what if my dad thinks the car's getting stolen and then he shoots me? Then I was like, I would rather not take this car.
The sentence would end like that.
Me too.
I didn't think the sentence would end like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought grounded or get a
I know. I thought,
My dad
what's the worst thing that could happen? you could think the car's getting stolen and shoot.
Okay, but now we mustn't stick on this one because everybody's got a worry. Now we're going to spend the next hour discussing only my worries.
But our worries are all the same. We solve
This is interesting. Okay, then let's.
But wait, she raised a very good point. We just glossed over it. It actually is the answer.
What?
She spoke about his self-confidence, right, and belief in himself.
Okay.
That actually is the answer to everything.
Okay.
Because if for example,
I don't think it is, but finish what you.
okay, it's the answer to most things.
No, but keep going.
If his self-confidence is strong enough, right, peer pressure will never be an issue. And we know, for example, that Alak is very smart already.
He's super smart.
So he knows what right and wrong is. What usually sways people from wrong is the external influence. If he's strong enough and believes in himself, he can say, hey dude, I hear what you're saying, but that's not how I was raised, that's not how we roll. And so already he's kind of insulated from the external influences of the world. Not to say he'll never go wrong, but he's unlikely to go as wrong as other people who are just amoebas and they go with the flow. A lot of people end up in trouble, they're like, yo dude, I don't even want to be here. I told you guys let's not go with it.
Now you're sharing yourself.
You see?
So I hear what you're saying. One caveat I'd like to throw into this, and one counter argument is, if we live in a world where everyone completely believes in themselves, I think we have a little less social cohesion. We should never take for granted how powerful peer pressure is in society.
Yeah.
So when you're on the road and you see that you could drive in the emergency lane and just get ahead of everyone, peer pressure is the only thing keeping you back. Yeah, you might be like, oh, the police. No, but beyond that, there's an element of knowing that every other road user is in some way, shape, or form going to be against you, and you're like, I'm not going to do it. When you're standing in a line at an airport or anywhere else, and you see that you could cut and you could get ahead, peer pressure is the only thing like stopping you from doing it. You're not going to get arrested. Do you get what I'm saying? I think there's a weird balance, and we don't know what the knobs perfectly are.
But the world.
But the way you
it's
look.
interesting that you say that.
No, can I say it?
We don't know what the balance is, but the world fine-tunes you.
So,
right?
okay, my argument is this, and this may sound a little anarchist, but it's not. But like, I don't believe we know, and I don't think there is a right, because I think every piece needs to exist. So, like, on the one hand, you need like a renegade to be like a Steve Jobs, let's say, where you go, no, we're going to do this. And people are like, you can't do it. And he's like, we're going to do it. And then he does it. And then now everyone's like, oh yeah, this is how it should have been. But then there's also some renegades who are like Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey Dahmer didn't suffer from peer pressure, I'm assuming. I think he was like, what are my friends going to say? He did his thing. He did his thing. So all I'm saying is, I believe that there isn't one fixed way or not way. I think a system will always like find entropy. It will always find the place where it exists for the best of what it is trying to do. But I think you can create a child, or you think if you can try your best to create a child who does not care about what anyone else says. And I think those types of people are assholes in the world as well, because they don't care about what anyone else says. There are some people who care too much about what everyone else says, and then they are at the whims of the crowd.
So Joe Biden's got a line, right?
Joe Biden?
Joe Biden,
Oh.
the rapper.
Very different.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this guy's about to quote Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, damn, I don't think I've ever heard anyone quote
Quote
Joe
Joe
Biden.
Biden.
This is the rap line also.
Okay.
Long before his podcast. And he speaks about mama raised me proper, the streets just molded me. The streets coded me, made me a better pedigree. Then he goes on to say things are complicated like Avril Lavigne said it. But that's besides the point.
Hey,
Basically, when you go out into the world will either affirm you or it will challenge you. Cool, right? So, with your fortitude, you go there and like, no, man, that's not how this works. And very quickly, if you're a smart person, you will then learn, oh, damn, I'm wrong about this. However,
yes.
if you are correct about your ways, the world will affirm you. And then you'll see, it's okay, this actually works. And that's how people end up rising to a certain point.
So, okay, it's actually funny you say that, because I think that's a perfect segue to my worry. I agree that the world will affirm you or challenge you, right? But I don't think that that is based in absolute truths. So sometimes you will be affirmed or challenged based on the circumstance or the situation.
Or what people can benefit from.
Exactly. So now let's go to my worry. The reason I say I think the global/liberal/whatever experiment has failed is because there was a time when many politicians around the world started to believe, and I'm sure there was another time when this happened with trading in general, but they said, you know what, we could be connecting the world in interesting and different ways. You know, you could make something in China, or you could make it in any country where it's developing, really. And that means the country where they're selling it to, they can focus on different types of labor. They can be more specialized. They can work in offices. They can do this. So they'll actually be selling a different product to the world. Their product might be a service. It might be something digital. And then the people who are using that, they might buy something else. And they might, but we're all connected. And
but they're chained.
Yeah. And we're all, and it's the circle of life. You know what I mean? It's like this beautiful world where money's flowing from one place to the next. And now, and Caesar, you're the economics guy, so I'm sure you can speak to it deeper than I can. But like, I feel like what happened was, first and foremost, the money dammed up in a way that no one really predicted. So the money didn't move around the world. It didn't stay in Bangladesh and Vietnam and all these places where the workers are making it. It very quickly left those places and went into bank accounts in certain parts of the world, right? The people working even at these companies in parts of the world, it doesn't matter how big these corporations are. But one of the things I find particularly interesting is how, like, we've accepted this as normal, and maybe we won't for a while, where companies can hire people to help them make profits. Once they've achieved that profit, they can fire all of those people
and hire people for the next
to help them make more profits, right? So this is the second part of it. Why I think it's failing. I think we were never fully prepared to communicate with everyone, everywhere, all the time, without understanding the nuances and the complexities that come with everybody's understanding of the world. In the same way that we're worried about like what we say to aliens
when they arrive.
Not even when they arrive. You've seen we've sent like things to space.
Signals like
and we've sent capsules, and then they'll choose. They go, we've put some Mozart, some Beethoven. We've sent, but there's also like crazy shit we've sent. We've sent like a random like rock and roll song. That could sound like a war anthem, I don't know. Or maybe Mozart sounds like war to an alien, I don't know. Right? You really don't know.
You understand?
Really sophisticated fighters.
The thing that came into my mind wasn't I don't like, oh.
No, but we've also sent like plants and seeds, and we've tried to send what we think encapsulates the human race, is what we've done.
Ooh, that is...
It's the new 24/7 long-lasting Old Spice deodorant. Oh, I can smell this good fresh aroma. I'm a seal. Cold and flu symptoms catching up to you? Shorten your recovery time with new Benelin all-in-one syrup.
It's a very, very risky thing. Because what does encapsulate the human race?
That's exactly my point. And so
maybe each country should send something.
Even then, and so now I'm saying social media as a whole, the whole connected idea of it, forget like social media. I just don't think we ever prepared for it. We never prepared for a message to cross borders and cultures in the way that it does. It may connect us in moments, but I think it's ripping us apart at the seams in more places than we ever thought. And so I think that's why I think the whole thing is falling apart. I think in South Africa, where we're right now, I think we're going to see only more xenophobia. We're going to see more people not wanting immigrants to come into the country. And in many people's defense, by the way, not just in South Africa, in the US, in Europe, etc., if we use the binary, we can be very quick to say, these people are hateful. It's very easy to do that, right? But the underlying issue is true in many places.
But I think you've got a global view because you are a global person, right? We can scale this down and realize that it's always been like that. It's just that now we are aware that it's happening everywhere else as well. Let me take it back to South Africa.
Yeah.
A person who was raised in the hood and a person who was raised in the rural areas, they are aliens to each other.
Okay, so the hood versus the village, essentially.
Versus the village,
Yeah.
there we go. But even in America, somebody was raised in the South, and I'm a Southern belle,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, as opposed to somebody who was raised in New York. Those people are also quite alien to each other,
yes.
right? And that is a country. I just feel that because you've been everywhere in the world, it is a lot more heightened for you that you think that.
No, but this is what I mean. I mean that the experiment it felt like it was working for a moment.
So here's, I can't speak to the second part of your thought process because that's more sociology. But the first one, which is economics, that makes sense. And even if you look at any economic textbook, it really it dictates that things will be that way. Because capital, by its very nature, is monopolistic, right?
Right.
There are 4 factors of production, we are told. We're told it's capital, labor, entrepreneurship, and then, I suppose, land. But really, when you think about it, there's only one factor of production. It's capital. Because with capital, you can buy the other things.
Right.
That's why the effect has been that money has always pulled back to
Money.
Yes. Because once you've made the money, you realize, okay, I no longer need the labor now. I can build AI, and that will substitute the need for labor.
Yes.
Right? Okay, I no longer need entrepreneurship. I can go to India and hire a CEO. Okay, I no longer need, for example, land. Right?
Yes.
These are all the things. Capital will always supersede everything in a capitalistic society. So it's called capitalistic.
Right.
I don't call it laboristic.
Or landistic.
I want to live in a landistic country. No, but so I agree with you. And what I'm saying though is, this was an experiment. Remember, we're always conducting an experiment. Like you said with your son, you're winging it. We're also winging it. I think this is something we should always acknowledge as people, and I think not enough politicians do, and not enough leaders do. They make it seem like we know. So I've seen people who talk about like socialism, they know. People talk about communism, they know. People talk about capitalism, they know. But I'm like, guys, you don't know. We're all winging it with as much information as we have. We're gathering data points, as you say, right? So there was no communism until there was. There was no socialism until there was. There was no capitalism until there was, right? What I'm saying is, this experiment that we're conducting now, I worry that it's failing, but I worry that it's failing because the reason I worry about it failing is because of the ramifications on the outside. So,
But that's how revolutions come.
this is my
That's
point.
the reason. Everything has a reason.
You see, this is my point. I don't like your tone when you say these things, Caesar. You say very... No, but he says it in a very... Your tone is positive. But the message you're giving is like, you're like, yes, well, that's a revolution.
Because that's what happens.
That's a reset. And everyone's gonna die. Yes, but your tone, you must deliver it like, well, that's a reset.
You are worried that you're living on the cusp.
Yes, completely.
You want to miss the revolution.
We, not me.
Yes, all of us.
You want to miss the revolution.
No.
You want to be here for it.
No.
I don't want to be here for it.
Trevor doesn't
Do
want
you want to be here for a revolution?
I mean, I think in many parts
You want to be here for the revolution?
No, I don't want to be here for a
Let me tell you something about a revolution.
It's disruptive.
And nobody knows what comes out on the other side.
Yes.
You think I have power. A revolution completely disrupts power. You think, oh, but I'm of the people. Revolutions also squash the people.
Yeah.
And the outcome of a revolution is not predictable, right? And
Was it called a revolution?
oh, it
No,
doesn't
but Trevor's right in that it's obviously, it depends what sort of person you are, right? It's better to be living in very calm times
Yes.
and steady times.
Yes.
But you learn a lot if you're living on the cusp. Because that's the majority of change takes place.
I mean, this is true.
Yeah.
But
But if you look at us, we literally went from analog to digital. That alone will blow many people's minds.
Yes.
Crazy, the things that we've seen. We went from DAT recorders to CDs to cassette tapes to VHS
Yes.
to CD.
When I say that, maybe I think we've lived revolutions. I think you guys think I'm assuming like the violent ones,
No. I just mean
You mean
mass.
everything. You know.
blood will be spilled.
Not necessarily that was spilled, but you'll be sitting in the room about COVID revolution. You know for a fact.
Then give me an example of a revolution.
Cuban revolution, yes. Well, Arab Spring somewhat. But regimes change.
Yes.
Presidents.
Okay, violent thing.
Not
Not
necessarily.
necessarily. They can be peaceful.
Like in 1994, South Africa had a revolution, but a peaceful revolution. More or less.
No, okay. This is what I mean. I'll just throw them out at you and maybe you'll understand the picture that I'm seeing. Let's say in America, right? It was interesting to see how even amongst themselves, the